Hey everybody. So I wanted to do just a little close-up. There's a couple of items of news I want to talk to you about, and I know it's probably been a while since we've done a close-up with Pebbles and her brothers. So we're going to head over to that room in just a minute, but I wanted to start in here with Brooke. Yes, hi Brooke. Um, if you've been paying attention to the news, you know we scheduled Brooke's spay for tomorrow, which is Thursday. But that's not going to happen now. We're going to have to reschedule it, and we'll reschedule it tomorrow. So I don't know yet when the new date is going to be. And the reason is that there has been a little bit of an illness going around the Kitten Academy. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's some sort of gastrointestinal bug. And it's basically, like you send your kids to school and they come home and they get a tummy bug. And you say, oh, they've got the flu. And it's probably not the flu, it's probably something else, even for your kids. But, it just makes them sick and for a day, and they spend the day in bed and they watch a lot of cartoons. And some of the best days of my life as a young Mr. A were spent that way. At home, sick, and drinking ginger ale and eating toast, I think, or just crackers, and watching cartoons in bed all day because I was sick. So that's basically what some of the kittens are going through, and it seems like it's getting passed around the academy no matter how careful I try to be. And I don't know exactly how that's happening, although if I had to place bets, I would bet that it is the fact that the tiny plants who we're going to go see next, the little kittens we're about to go see, they get poop everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And it's as clean as I try to be, that stuff, it's little microscopic bits, and I'm sure it gets on my pants and my socks and everything. So that would be my guess. We don't have to go into full quarantine mode, of course. It's not anything that's super harmful, but it's been knocking the cats out for a day or two at a time, one at a time. And it seems like this is Brooke's turn. You might have also noticed that Kulat has been going through some of it, and that's why Kulat spent the night with us in the master bedroom. Today, Brooke has not been eating her food, and there was a little bit of vomit in the room, and so we feel like it's also Brooke's turn. So all that means, if she's sick, and she's definitely sick with something, even if it's not the same thing, but I bet it's the same thing. If she's sick like that, though, she can't go for her spay tomorrow. So we're going to reschedule it, and we're going to keep a close eye on her, and I'm going to make sure she's eating. And one of the things that we do for cats that are sick that way and vomiting, we also give Serenia, and we give subcutaneous fluids. And the combination, the 1-2 punch of Serenia and subcutaneous fluids is absolutely excellent for cats that are nauseated and throwing up for whatever reason. Because, you can't treat a viral GI thing really directly. You just have to sort of treat it symptomatically. So I'll probably end up, if she doesn't seem like she's eating or drinking today, I'll probably end up giving her some sub-Q fluids and Serenia a little bit later today, which is stuff that we usually have on hand, and we have on hand now. That's also what we did last night for Kulat, and she ate a ton, and she seemed like she was really happy last night, although if you're watching her on the regular stream right now, she's a little bit more relaxed than you might expect, and that's probably because she's still feeling a bit of the bug. So, at any rate, we have ways of dealing with these things. And just to be clear, because I was not, I don't think, clear about this, Brooke is still going to the vet tomorrow. She's got a vet appointment tomorrow. It just won't be for her spay. It's going to be to check on what's going on with her. So we will be taking her into the vet tomorrow. We are also taking in Smokey, who seems like it's also her turn. She gets to go into the vet tomorrow, too. I'll show you Smokey real quick, actually, because she's here, and I know you guys love to see her. We've got her isolated in a different room. I know you might think that we would put her in her office, but there's too many hidden places for her to throw up in her office that we wouldn't see it, and I need to really observe this stuff. So we put her in another spare room. Oh, another spare room where I plugged in a space heater and blew a fuse. The lights won't come on. The space heater's not running. And that's why I'm going to have to go reset the fuse after I'm done with this close-up stream. Not that she minds. She's nice and snug in her bed. And we've got her selections of foods here, which she doesn't want much to do with right now because it's her turn to not feel great. She's also going along on that vet trip tomorrow. Even if she feels better, we're still going to take her in and get fresh blood work done. So that's Smokey. I'll have to fix that fuse afterwards. All right, let me just, I didn't touch anything, but I'm going to do this again because we're in extra paranoid mode. And I'll tell you, the last few days, as this has been slowly going around and making everybody sick by turns, it's been super stressful for me, and I just hope we get through it soon. There's nothing better than when you finally get through all the sick kitties. Oh, looks like that same fuse covers this room, and our fuse in here is also blown. That's great. So, what do you got on your foot there, buddy? Whoa, 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 slow it down. Okay, just a little piece of paper or something? No, that's too wet for paper. What is that? Maybe it's just a piece of, oh, I see, it's like wet paper. Good enough. Anyway, so these guys are actually doing very healthy. I haven't weighed them yet today, but they've all been eating a ton, pooping a ton, and I feel like their shapes, they're still a little bit bloated, but they're starting to come in line with the sort of shapes that we would expect. So I feel like they're slowly improving, and that's exactly what we want. Fern always has food on his nose. If you're wondering, he does not have brown spots on his face. He's only black and white. Those are Fern's only colors. But he is definitely always dirty with food, and that's what those little other colors are on his face. Yes, Fern, I'm talking about you. If you guys have been watching, Fern and Pebble have been good friends, and Fern lets Pebble nurse all over his belly. Which is really cute and usually ends up actually helping quite a bit because Fern doesn't clean himself very well, and that has the effect of getting him all clean. So Pebble's been helping out by cleaning her brothers, whether she knows it or not. Hi, Pebs. Now, you may have heard that Pebble has an approved adopter. She's getting adopted with Kulat, and I would love to see the two of them hang out together, but not while Kulat's feeling sick. So that'll be put off for another day or two before we get to introduce them. But I'm really excited to introduce them. Oh, I should also show you, and I hope we can see this. It's dim in here. I know you can't tell because the camera really makes it look bright, but with the fuse blown, it's a little dim in here. But I want to show you that Pebbles has developed some white spots that I'm sure are going to continue to be white. And that sort of made me think that she's going to be a black kitty when she's done changing her coat. But if you look underneath here, she's got a white spot right on her throat, which I guess it is hard to tell. Do you see that? That's a legitimate white spot in the middle of her throat, which it may be hard to tell, but you can tell in person really clearly that it's a white spot. And also down here on her belly, that's probably easier for you to see. Do you see this like white stripe spot right there? That's also a real white spot. So she's got a couple white spots coming in, and the white spots on her throat and her belly like that, those are things that you normally see on cats that are all black and just have a couple of white spots. So at least from my experience, I'm thinking that when her coat finishes changing, she's going to be mostly a black kitty with those white spots. Maybe. I don't know. Here is Thistle. And Thistle's showing off the fact that they do still have some kind of big kitten bellies. Wow, Thistle's is especially big. Thistle, stand up for us for a second. Let's see this thing. Wow, look at that. I know, okay. They're eating a ton, they're pooping a ton, everything's moving through. I do want to see them sort of change into a more adult shape soon, but we're working on it. They're all done with their deworming treatment, and just hopefully it has an effect. We'll get their poops retested soon. In fact, I should bring some poops in with me tomorrow when I go to the vet. I'll remember to do that. I'll bring some poops from these guys. We'll have it retested. We'll see where they're at as far as that goes. Hopefully it'll come up negative for anything this time. They're all over there in the litter box pooping now, except for Thistle. So we're just going to watch Thistle for a minute. I'm sure you guys can hear all of that in the litter box. There's all three of them over there together, litter boxing it up. I see somebody asking, why was Taylor crying all night? Yeah, I mean, I guess I should say I'm sorry that Taylor's making so much noise, but she does, and she will. And I think some of that is probably because she's in heat right now, and that can definitely have an effect. But I don't think that's all of it. I think the rest of it is, first off, that she and her family are just really talkative cats, especially her and Kulat. She and Kulat both just like to talk a lot. Kulat meows whenever she wants your attention. She's very vocal. And Taylor's the same way. Taylor's very vocal. So some of that is just the way she is. And then I think there's a third component for Taylor, which is obviously she would rather be out of the room more lately, and she's not shy about letting us know. The good news is, and I mentioned this on our Twitter, that Taylor is getting along great with the faculty. I mean, fantastic. Better even than Whimsy ever did, where Whimsy would antagonize Maggie relentlessly, and not to be mean or anything, but just because Maggie would run away, and then Whimsy would want to chase her, and then Maggie would get upset about the chase, and then it would just spiral out of control very quickly. Even though Whimsy's just trying to play, Maggie didn't get it. So it turns out that Taylor's better that way, where Taylor, if Maggie runs away, she'll follow a little bit, but she doesn't chase and she doesn't escalate. So that it fizzles out very quickly instead of turning into a big old fight. And just this morning, Loganberry went into Taylor's room, and Taylor came up to see what he was doing, and she gets right in his face. She walks right up and touches noses with him like an interested cat does. And Loganberry wasn't entirely happy with that. He put his ears back and he sort of made a noise, like back off. And then she wasn't backing off, so he took a swipe at her. Just I'm just trying to hurt her, but just like a sort of half-hearted, like, back off or I'm going to boop you kind of swipe. And she did. She just sort of ignored it and didn't escalate, and was very, very cool and polite about it all. So I feel really good now about letting Taylor out with the faculty. Not so good yet that I'm just going to leave her out unobserved. So at night, she's probably still going to be in her room, and she's probably still going to be crying about it. But most of the rest of the day, unless I'm leaving the house or I'm in the middle of a project where I won't be able to watch her at all and won't be able to listen for any potential problems, if that happens, she'll go in the room. But other than that, she'll be able to stay out quite a bit. Now, you may have noticed that she's out. Oh, she's out right now. And still making quite a bit of noise about it. So I don't expect the fact that she's out of the room to mean that she's going to be silent. But I do think that it makes her happier. So that's all good. So yeah, that's basically the news. And thank you, Winnie and Gary. First off, thank you for reminding me to mention that Brooke, who we just saw, as well as Taylor and Blue Jean, are still looking for approved adopters. So definitely think about applying. They're all great cats. Like I was just saying, Taylor turns out to get along great with other cats. I'm glad that we've turned that corner with her. Of course, introducing cats is a process that takes time, and you should expect that. But in the end, it's well established now that Taylor can get along fine with other cats. Blue Jean is the most active and bold, playful kitten in that group and still needs an application. I'm pretty surprised about that, frankly. And the two of them together would be good because they're both playful. Taylor's also very playful, and they would sort of take care of each other a bit, and that would help you. So I do encourage someone to apply for Taylor and Blue Jean together, and also for Brooke, not together. So far, we haven't established that Brooke gets along okay with other cats, but we're going to keep working on that. And it may just be one of those things that takes some time, and then we find out that she's lovely with other cats. That's actually my guess. Given the way that she reacts to the other cats now, I think she's going to turn out to be really good with them. But, I wouldn't want to tell you that unless we know it for sure, and that's going to take us some time to work out. So we're still working on it. At any rate, there's no reason not to apply for Brooke. There's no reason not to apply for Taylor and Blue Jean together or separately. And you can do all that on our website. Our website is kitten.academy, and there's an application right there online. And I know it's a lot to fill out, and I know that there's a lot of required fields, and I know you should just do your best. It does go through human beings, so you fill out what you can. What else is news? I also wanted to say, Winnie and Gary, not just thank you for that and for the links and for the reminders in the chat, but thank you for Wednesdays with Winnie and Gary. I note that today is Wednesday, and I'm sure that the whole world is joining me in looking forward to Wednesdays with Winnie and Gary tonight on your YouTube channel. So I hope that I hope people tune in for that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If we're having microphone issues with the new phone, it may just be an issue of me needing to learn how to hold it, which I'll do, or else I'll start carrying it around on a little like trigger grip, like Jimmy D uses for Wednesdays with Winnie and Gary, or used to use. So I'll try to keep an eye on that. We'll see what we can do about it. Oh, shouldn't show them playing with the litter box. DJ doesn't like that, and I can see why. Anyway, I do need to head down and reset that fuse and all the other stuff that I got to take care of. I got to get moving on and hopefully nurse all these cats and kitties back to good health. I know they're going to be fine, but it is very, very stressful when they're not fine. So we're working on that. A good question. How do you keep Pebble from getting worms while they're living in the same room? It's actually a good question. We have given her some prophylactic dewormers, and we expect that will do the trick. And if it doesn't, catching a little bit of worms and getting rid of them again, not a huge deal, really. All little kittens go through that, or at least almost all shelter kittens go through that at some point. And it's one of those sciences that is, medical things. It's just really solved. It's a solved problem. So we don't worry about worms too much. Obviously, we want to make sure they don't get them if we can avoid it. But in this case, the social benefit to her of being in here with other kittens far outweighs any possibility that she could get worms. So no worries. It's a good question, though. Anyway, I was just about to wrap it up, so I was going to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and it's the best thing that you guys can do for us is just to watch. Although I guess those of you that donate and the other stuff too, even better because you also watch. So we appreciate all of it very, very much. And right now, every watch counts, and every time that you get the word out, it's potentially, eventually spreading out and reaching to the point where we do find adopters for all the kittens and all the mom cats, and that's all thanks to you watching and telling folks and just all the things that you do for us. We greatly appreciate it. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention thank you so much to all of the folks who do donate through our Patreon. Because you are the ones that help us do all of the amazing vet care that we do for these kitties when they are sick, taking them to the vet all the time and getting them all the best meds and all the best treatments. And I owe you guys all the thanks for that. So thank you very, very, very much. I greatly appreciate it, and I know the kittens do too. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to keep watching these kittens, you can do that all day long. Just look for the regular Kitten Academy live stream right here on the YouTube. Pebble, say goodbye to everybody. You gonna wave? Well, that's kind of a wave. There you go. Okay, bye everybody.